In the process of recovering from pain, there are people who can find an external fix, whether it's an exercise or a yoga program or Tai Chi or Qigong or massage balls or something on a physical nature or even on a psychological nature that externally can provide relief of symptoms and even an eradication of pain. And for those people, they found their thing that has solved their problem, for the best way of saying it. Then there are people who have tried finding something external to them and finding someone or something to provide that fix that I was talking about. And they've gotten some relief, short-term relief, but that relief isn't long-term, right? And it's kind of come in fits and spurts. And then they become more focused on finding something external, right? Because they had some short-term gain, nothing long-term, but they did get something beneficial from doing something like using massage or movement or seeing someone outside of them to support them in moving forward. For some of these people, the short-term gain, though, starts to become less and less and less of a gain. And what I found becomes a really important piece is this piece of an internal process that then works with the external process. Now, when I'm talking about an internal process, I'm not talking about the work that a licensed, certified psychotherapist, psychologist, or other counselor would be doing from a psychological perspective. What I'm talking about is the feeling of what's actually happening when we're moving, right? Because we've all had the experience of doing exercises just to do an exercise and not really feeling what's going on. And when you can feel, so rather than the exercise being this tool, this to-do list that you just knock off 10 or 3 sets of 10 or whatever, you actually feel what's going on. So that you notice that even if the therapist has given you do 10 of these, you realize that some other symptom is coming up that's telling you maybe you shouldn't do 10, maybe you should only do 4. And then you stop at 4 and then you notice what you feel. But this internal process of feeling, and I don't necessarily mean emotion, I mean like just feeling the movement of what's going on in your body, that becomes really, really vital. And it can be difficult to navigate, particularly if you've been someone who has focused on the external process, like there's got to be an external thing to fix this thing. When you can blend it with this internal sense of feeling the movement, of feeling the breathing, of feeling whatever that stimulus is, and feeling the response in your body, in your system, then you can start to make a lot more gain. So then it doesn't become this external thing that's being done or you're doing to yourself. It is that happening, and then you're feeling the response on the inside in real time. Then what then starts to happen is you can then go back to kind of seeing, all right, how is this external stimulus really impacting me? You can start to see more clearly what is working and what's not working and what the actual gap is, and take that information either into your own practice or back to the therapist that's working with you. Because then if you can bring that kind of information to whomever is working with you, they've got a much better picture of then how to help you. You have a much better picture of how to help yourself. And I think this is a piece that can often go missing, is this idea of really feeling. And in the yoga and fitness and a lot of the worlds these days, we're talking about embodiment, right? We're talking about that kind of experience, that somatic, kinesthetic feeling. And that's what I'm talking about. It's that you yourself are living the experience of the technique, of the movement, of the breath, of the fill in the blank. You're having that lived experience. And what is that lived experience? Not the experience of someone telling you this is what you should feel, but in fact, what it is that you feel. What becomes really powerful about this is that you then start really trusting yourself in terms of what yourself is feeling. And I think this is very fundamentally important because, particularly if you've been through the medical system a whole lot, you've likely encountered people who have told you that what you're feeling is not doesn't have meaning, and yet it has incredible meaning. And if you can remember and reclaim that feeling sense so that you can then articulate that back to someone that you're working with, you'll make huge gains. But it's this trust piece, right? And this reclaiming piece that arises and grows and becomes more solid when you are feeling the actual result of the movement in real time. So here's what I suggest that you do. Just do any simple movement or stretch or exercise or breathing technique or whatever, and just feel what is actually going on for you. Like for you, for real, right? Not so much what the things should be doing, although it might be interesting to know that, and then you can compare to what it is that you are actually feeling, and then start taking a note of that. Okay? And then keep an eye on this feed, because there'll be more little tips and tricks for you that you can play with to help you connect into this internal process of feeling and what that feeling is doing for you, and then how to start closing the gap between where you are and where you want to go. All right, enjoy. Keep an eye here. There'll be more. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.